All right, so let's start this morning. So this is going to be our second lecture on SQL, and again also we'll solve a little mystery with using SQL. It's kind of more fun that way instead of just doing something really in a dry way. And also, of course, there's a fifth homework now. For this, it should be live. So basically, it's a continuation of the fourth homework, basically. Right. So where's our right here? Where's our SQL? Right. So basically, it is actually live. So it's due 31st of March. I think same date as fourth. So you basically do the fourth one, and then you add on top of it. You add the fifth one, basically, right? So instead of so you need to add persistence, meaning SQL, right? So SQLite is completely fine, right? So you keep using the Kotlin, but you need, of course, have the support basically for storing, right? And add some extra features, right? So basically everything is the same as fourth, so you can use the fourth one. It's completely fine. I mean, you could submit the same repository if you want. That's completely fine, right? So if you do the fifth, your fourth kind of comes with it, really, right? Now again, if you're doing something else, right? If you completely don't want to do another CRUD task to-do list, right? You could do something like a game, right? That's fine too. Hello there, right? But again, then you need some storage, right? You need a create, read, update, delete in using, of course, SQL.
Right. Mind if I don't make a game, but do a different CRUD app?
Yeah. What do you have in mind?
Well, I think it's a little ambitious project that I want to do an agile retrospective board.
Okay, like a Kanban board or something like that?
Not really. It's retrospective. So it would be sort of like three rows. What we did good, what we could improve, and
okay.
Some action. And yeah, what went bad. Well, basically the situation is that we at work we are attempting to use some of the existing solutions that don't require verification, and all of them kind of suck. So
okay.
We'll try to attempt.
Okay, so that'd be good. You hit, you kill two birds with one stone, right?
Yeah.
You get praise at work, and you also get praise from me, right?
The only thing I don't like that I will be required to write it in Kotlin.
Okay, so you want to do it in Go, because the thing is, you will, okay, that is going to be the sixth homework, basically, right? So you could submit the sixth homework for this, actually, right?
Okay.
Right? So this will work for you as sixth homework, actually, right? But for the fifth one, so it's like you could see, of course, see how the different concepts translate between Kotlin and Go. I have actually.
I also want to make it so multiple users can edit it at the same time.
Okay.
And I think that will be the most challenging part.
Yes.
Because that will require some sort of WebSockets, and I haven't used them at all.
Okay.
Previously, so I may explore it with Kotlin.
Okay. Cool. Okay. Yeah, it's completely fine. If I see creation, reading, update, delete, because again, it's pretty much present everywhere, right? You name it, it works, right? So again, so the sixth one is too early. I have not made it live. And the Go is next week. We'll do Go next week. So that's the homework, basically. Any questions on the fifth homework? Anybody clear? Oh, more or less. More or less. Okay. Now let's do the mirror mystery. Right. So this is a mystery. And I think, let me see if I have it actually in my repository, right? So basically we'll do some queries and find who is the killer, basically, right? So in a way you can see it also kind of relates to the prologue also. Like you can see how prologue is not related to SQL, but there are some similarities, of course, here, right? So we'll be doing some basically data retrieval, basically analysis, basically, right? So I want to see if I actually have, I believe I have it, do I have the, I guess I don't have the, I guess I don't have a notebook for this. Let me see my repository, see maybe I have it already downloaded. That will make things easier, certainly. Oh, okay, we have more people coming in, that's great. Hopefully. Good morning. Very good to see you. All right. So let's take a look. And see if I have the. That would make things much easier to actually have the database instead of having a web app, right? Which to actually have the database. I think I made a clone of it somewhere. Possibly here. Let's see, data or database. Do I have it here? Data, and I have a Chinook database. I don't have this one here, unfortunately. All right, let me see where I can somehow download this because okay, well let's see. Let's take a look at this. See if we can do this without any tooling. It will be a little bit challenging, right? So again, of course, you remember first we start the first thing before again if you're doing anything with an existing database. Of course, if you're creating one as well, right? You need of course a table. Figure out what kind of tables you'll have, right? What you have, or actually if you're making one, of course, you'll need some tables, right? Again, theoretically, again, for your assignment, you probably need like 2 or 3 tables. So you can get by with a single table, but it would probably not be the best, right? So 2 or 3 tables would be good, right? So let's run some queries, right? So we see there's a whole bunch of tables, right? Again, select syntax, and also there is a, let's say we can see also, we can see a limit, just a single table, right? And you can see what kind of data it has. Again, most decent IDs, database IDs, like again, there are paid ones, and of course the free ones like DB Beaver will give you this syntax. So of course, much better would be to just see the diagram, right? So this here, let me see if we can make this bigger. Right, so we have what? Well, of course, we have to provide, we have to insert a solution, basically, right? That's our task, right? But we have, actually, the data is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 tables, right? Nothing, like, normal database, right? So idea is that there's a person, right? They have driver's license, of course, they have income separately. They have the Facebook event check-in, right? There's some Facebook events happening, right? There's also, apparently there's something called Get Fit Now, right? Apparently it's something like Lemon Gym or something like that, right? Some sort of fitness, right? There's an interview, right? And there's also a table from the fitness club as well, right? So actually there's actually kind of like police has access to the fitness club. Well, we'll see what the story is, right? So there's been a murder, right? Let's see if we actually get the first table, right? So you need to insert, right? So, right, so there's been a murder, right? So, okay, so what are the clues? The detective gave you the crime scene report, but you lost it actually, right? So it's like, yeah, you don't know what you were doing at that time, right? So you vaguely remember there was a murder. It occurred around January 15, 2018, and of course it happens in SQL City, right? So we'll now want to, or starting point will be, we'll want to retrieve the actual crime scene report, right?
I think we have done something like that.
You did this?
Perhaps, yeah.
In my class?
No, like CST, I think.
Yeah, you did it?
No, I think it was something. No, I think it was.
It was murder? So, okay.
Murder, but maybe a
Different killer.
perhaps.
Because okay, I've done this before myself. I usually this is what I do, but you didn't take CS50 with me. No.
Oh, yeah.
Which Boyars?
Oh, yeah.
Oyars, okay, Oyars, okay, right. So yeah, okay, so then you know who the killer is.
No, we don't remember.
You don't remember who the killer is? It's like reading the book for second time, who was the guilty, or watching like, I don't know, Midsummer Sound Murders or something, right? And you don't remember who, it's so generic, you don't remember who was guilty. Okay, but so do you guys want to do it again?
Yes.
Yeah. So, let's see again. It's been a while. Again, I don't remember who is the guilty one either, by the way, right? So, because of course, again, the idea, of course, is to explore the key idea of how the tables join together. That's our basic idea, right? So, and again, we see that some tables have there's a primary key, right? For example, in Facebook event check, you don't even see the check-in tables. Don't even see the primary key. You don't even see there is a person ID basically, right? But you can see this is what the foreign key basically, right? So it looks like Well, event ID is probably the primary key here. So I don't, you would expect, of course, database by this, relational database, they do have primary keys, right? You might not be using them in other tables, right? But they do have, because rows have to be identified, right? So, but SSN, right? So these are links. You can see how person by the social security number, which of course in Latvia is personal ID, right? You can link it together, right? Another table, of course, driver's license ID is there, right? Okay. So to Janis Berziņš or whatever, or Liga Berziņa, of course, there's multiple of them. Of course, you need the ID to link them to get to a particular one. Has to be need to be linked. Of course, you could cheat. We could go to the walkthrough, but let's not do that, right? Let's not do that. Let me see. And I had a very good. Can we get this? This from Northern University. I want to get actually good. I would like to actually get the database. Actually, I remember I used to have it actually. All right. Diving below. Can we see experience? Exploring. Right. So the rest is up to you. Right. So. So let's see let's see if we can run it from here. So what do we do? So select, right? Let's do this from interview, right? Or what was it? Crime scene, all from crime scene report, right? And we could, of course, what we could do is this, right? Let's do count. See how many actually are, right? Count, right? Because I have no idea, right? Let's see if this runs. Oh, there's 1,200 interview crime scene reports, right? So we don't really want to read them all, right? So, but there is a description, date, right? All right. So let's do. So what I'll do is, right? What I'll do is this. I'll do this. Select all from crime scene report and limit 10, right? I want to see what the structure looks like, right? Okay. So that's a date. Again, this database, it's interesting. Sometimes there is a specific date time format, and this looks like just a regular integer. Okay, right. Man, there's a Spider-Man is on a robbery spree. Oh my. All right. So, and we of course. So, what do we want? We have SQL city, right? We want. So we could limit it, right? First of all, we want the 1st of January. We want murder. And we want SQL city, right? So, we'll do some limits. So, where city, right? We could do this, right? And let's do SQL city, right? Again, let's see if this happens, if that helps. Limit, again, for now, we'll limit 10, right? Because again, so this looks like this works. This query works. So also, and type, right? And again, I'm using this, notice how I'm using the, well, I could use small letters as well. Remember, it's not case it's case insensitive, right? So type is murder, right? All right. So of course it's just like conjunction, basically a conjunctive. So, oops, and what they do wrong, and type is murder. Where they do wrong? Near in-text. Where is error? Let's see. This didn't work. What did I do here? So that's a problem, of course. Oh, case. What did I do wrong? No. Or maybe I need a semicolon. Just that's it. No. What happened? What did I do? Everything was working so great, and I messed up. What happened? Maybe there's some garbage. No. No. What happened? Yeah. So, where? Case. There's no case, right? You see, that's the problem. There's no such thing as I said. Not case. City. So city, right? Not case. SQL city, right? Right. So that's again, and I'm used to using double quotes, right? Now, and right. It's very common in SQL queries, of course, do it multiple lines. So let's do type equals murder. All right. So now we should see limit 10. Actually, only 3 murders. So that would be we can at least see, right? So this is what we want, right? So this is right, and of course date equals. We could do like, we could do date like I don't know if it's actually integer. Was it integer, right? Date is integer, right? So we don't really have date. We could just do a numeric. Now date is maybe, let's do this. Date is over 2018 01, let's say 10, right? And date less than equal, I don't know, 2018 01 20, right? Again, of course, there's also command between. By the way, SQL has a between, right? But I personally, of course, since I'm as a programmer, of course, I prefer use the standard programming approaches, right? So that should work. Let's take a look. Right, so there's only one. The limit 10, of course, is not necessary in this case, but there's only one. Okay, so we have two witnesses, right? And we want to know, there's a murder, there's description, right? And we want to look at the witnesses, right? So let's look at the witnesses, right? All right, so let's see, can we comment this out? No, we can't. I would like to get this database actually in some sort of, can we do the, I don't want to do the walkthrough, that would be really boring, but I want to see actually if we could find the database. Maybe you can find the link, that'd be much easier. Let's see, can we get the, yeah, there's another one. There's, I think this was, this one here, right? This was a different one, right? Command line murder mystery, right? And this was using, you had to use you had to use I think a command line basically, learn some command line commands. It's different mystery. All right. Can we find the actual original code? Oh, there's MIT. Okay, I think we can find the database here. I think we can just download database here, right? Yep, I hope so. Where's my database? SQL here, there it is. Okay, right. It's under MIT license, just like my project. So I can just basically, I'll give it a, yeah, we'll just download. I should probably, I'll add it to the project actually. Okay, that makes sense, right? Sign in. I'm not signed in actually. All right. On here I am. Okay. All right. Now, so what I'll do is I will add it to our repository actually. All right. And give of course credit, which would be the only thing right to do. I'll just download the raw file. Yeah. And then I will add it. So then we can use it, explore it. It will be much easier to use some sort of tooling, basically, even SQLite online, because it gets kind of boring using this single line interface, basically. Okay, now let's add it, and I'll do this again since I don't have a code space open or anything. I could of course add some sort of add it to the using code space. But let me add it here. Let me add two files actually. Add file readme, upload files, right, the old school way. Right, and there's my downloads. Yeah, let's do a SQL murder mystery. All right, added a murder mystery database from, of course, we want also to learn to add some credit. Now you can access it. It's available, but let me add also a README file for this, so I'm going to add some credit. It's only the right thing to do. README MD. Right, and of course mystery file, data murder mystery database. Source, right, will be, yeah, let's see here. And of course the actual site. So now of course now we can do some, explore this more, right, in more detail. On should be, yeah, murder mystery. Okay, murder mystery Mystery. That's correct? Yeah, that's correct. Okay. So now we have database, and now of course I can just use SQL Online, SQLite Online, or something like that. Some tool like this to actually do any. Let's add the database, right? Open SQLite database from downloads, and we should have it here, right? Again, so now we can do, of course, select, same thing, same commands, right? And again, of course, the advantage, of course, using a normal ID, of course, you'll have a history what you're doing, right? Again, you're sort of working interactively, right? And again, of course, you could do it in with code, right? Eventually, right? Let's get select. We are the crime scene report, right? So again, let's copy this. Where's my? There we go. Right. This is our first command, right? Yeah. And let's see if it works. Yeah. Okay. Now, that's great. And I'll keep making new tabs maybe for different queries. Maybe can I do one more? Yeah. So, well, you can save them. I think you can save them here too, right? I think you can. All right. Now, so we have the again. So select. Maybe let's do this here. Can we do commenting? No, we can do Control Z. We can do commenting. Remember, commenting is minus minus, right? Like this, commenting, right? Again, I thought it worked. No, it doesn't. Or maybe there's different shortcut. Maybe something else. Maybe Control minus. Nope. No, that's for use for the web, for the browser. Because I'm lazy, right? I'd like to, of course, use something like DB Beaver would be nice, or some IDE, something which is. Oh, I guess we could use minus minus, but I would like to do this. Some shortcuts. Maybe let's see. No, not register. I think they're really pushing the money price. They really want money. It looks like it used to be much less obvious that they want money, right? All right. So about no, yeah. Maybe somebody really wants money. That's okay, of course. But all right. So what we'll do is this: instead of doing this line, right, we will select actually the just the description, right? Description, right? And let's run it. And we have it here, right? And right, so we have two witnesses. So Northwestern Drive, last house at the Northwestern Drive, right? So what this means is, of course, let's look at our table. So they have person and they have address. Okay, so that's easy. We only have single table, right? Let's do that. So ID, person, and lives at the. We need to, of course, sort it, right? So we'll have to find all the addresses, right? So let's see if we can do that. Because we do have the interviews, right? Let's see how many interviews we have, right? Select, count, right? Start from interview, right? Interview. There you go. And let's run it. And we have 5,000 interviews. Mostly, of course, probably junk, right? But not. So this is not feasible just to get something, right? So we need some filtering, right? We need some filtering. So let's do that. So we need to inspect the Northwestern Drive, right? We have the Northwestern Drive here again. Right, Northwestern Drive here. Northwestern Drive. So select all from person, right? Person. Where? What? Address, right? Address, street name. Like, I guess since I'm fuzzy on this Northwestern thing, right? So I'll do this north. Let's do this, right? And limit 10, right? North, and of course this is a wildcard joker, right? So, and of course I made it. So, oh, of course, again, I'm so used to using double quotes that I need to use single quotes whenever I use SQL, right? Some versions that okay, yeah. So notice this didn't really help us too much because we have a whole bunch of northwest. We have a northeast, north Ellswood, right? So you can see that we want probably something northwestern, right? Northwestern. They're not gonna work, probably not. I guess there's some settings for case sensitivity, so let's do this one. And that's better, right? So what do we want to do? We want to sort by address number, right? Order by what? Address number, right? Address number. And let's see now. Now, of course, it is ascending. So what do we want to do? We want to have it descending. Descending, right? So we're getting somewhere, right? And now we should see that Morty Shapiro is the guy we want, right? So, and so what do we do? Basically, how to do this? We basically, you could get limit 1, right? Limit 1 will give us him, right? Or her, right? So, if I run it, that's the ID. Of course, I can now copy 14887. I could remember it. But what we could do is actually use this as part of, insert this actually inside another query. Basically make a subquery, right? So we want the actual interview where person ID. So that's what we want, person ID, and that's from person. So this is select ID, right? Not the we want just a single number, right? So this part here, right, is gonna give us a ID, right? So hopefully now let's take a look at this idea. So select all from interview, right? Where what? Person ID, right? Person ID equals this whole thing. It should work. I'm not sure exactly if it's gonna. It should work, right? And maybe there's multiple interviews, and it works. It worked. So of course, again, if you know the number, of course, again, so this is how you can build very complex queries. Again, just remember, algorithmically, of course, this query, you do a sub-queries and they're not cached, of course, you get slow. If you're going query between query and query, right, at some point it gets slow. Here, of course, it's a really tiny database, doesn't matter. Okay, so we have transcription, right? So we don't really need the person ID, we need a transcription. Now, what I would like to know, of course, since I don't really use SQLite Online, transcript, right? To see how do I see everything. I guess I have to, how could I export table? I guess I could export table, right? I guess I'll do that since I'm lazy, right? I guess I'll do CSV, right, right? Okay, let's open up and we can read it. Okay, so we can make this bigger, right? So I heard a gunshot and we saw a man run out. He had a get fit, now gym bag, right? So what do we know? Now we know membership number 48Z, good memory. Only gold members, right? I guess the guy goes too, right? He's on cars got a plate is included. What is it? Let me see. I'll just use Notepad or something. Control. Come on. Okay. Control C. Notepad. All right. Again, quick and dirty. Yeah, there we go. That's easier. Let's do some word wrap or something, right? Format. All right. Okay. So that's our first hint, right? So now we go to the other thing, right? So do you remember this is the one you did or something else? Something else. Okay, good. Okay. All right. So the next thing, of course, is to do. I'll do a new tab, right? New tab. Again, if you so we can keep this the first one, the second one. So from here, right? Let me run this again. Right. So let me copy this. Oops. Can I just copy this? Oh yeah, I could actually, right? Yeah, I copy this, so I don't have to export it. These are going to be our facts, right? All right. So walkthrough, right? So second witness is somebody named Annabelle, right? Lives somewhere on Franklin Avenue. Okay, now we know how to do this, right? So it's going to be very easy. It should be pretty easy. Oh, here, right? So I'll just take this part here, right? We'll adjust this a little bit, right? So select ID from person. We want to select all, right? On like Franklin, right? Franklin, maybe there's Avenue, I don't know, maybe there's something else. Right, for now, we don't know anything else. on limit 10. Maybe there's like 100% of this, right? Okay. It looks like, okay, there's a whole bunch of them. There's avenue. It looks like just all avenue, but we don't know. So we probably want name, right? So, and it's probably Annabelle Miller, but let's make sure, right? Name, like, and again, a reminder that these like operations, I'll do this again, like this, right? Annabelle, right? Because we don't know, is it Annabelle Miller, Annabelle, I don't know, Smith, and so on, right? So, let's run it, and it's only one Annabelle Miller. Okay, right? So, same thing, again, limit 1, and of course, we want to do ID. And we have the ID. We have the scalar. So in SQL, these are called scalars, of course, right? And of course, then we have the rows. So one thing which is SQL is that you basically have two type of results, right? You either have these views, these tables, or the other one is just you get a single result, basically, right? Which is just not really, well, you could think of table one by one table, really, but so if you oftentimes, if you are using something, some results, a subquery, you probably want this type of result, right? Again, the question might be, what happens if you don't have a query, right? And maybe you get 0 or something, right? But again, so you have an error then. So, now we can do the same, we can do exactly the same thing, right? And we should have, right, on person ID. Now we are cooking, I think, right? Hopefully. Not run. Yeah, it works. I saw the murder happen. Then I recognized the killer from my gym when I was working out last week on January the 9th. All right, so that's another hint, right? That should be enough, right? To get our killer, right? But, so we have our 2 hints, right? Very good. Let me add these results afterwards. This will be like a cheat sheet, basically, for more queries, right? So to check, right? Right. So this will be our sort of like, I'll add this to our cheat sheet, so we don't remember. So when I'll add to, right. Right. Right, and we have our second query here, right? Yeah, all right. Well, let me add this to the walkthrough, all right? And then we can take maybe a short break. Let's see. Let's maybe add it to the here, right? Or add it to here. Add file. Mystery walk through MD solution, mystery solution, right? And we will add it here, right? Again, we call it SQL, of course. We could also, if you call this SQL, right? You see how nicely it formats this, right? It formats, it shows the highlights, right? So you see, it sees all the classical names. So yeah, I should probably comment this out. So this is not because, right? So this would be more correct, right? Okay. Commit changes. Mystery solution. Okay. So what's our next step, actually? Let's think about it. Let's take a break till 12. Yeah. We'll be back at 12, so we can finish early again. Murder mystery. Stop the bike. Video capture. We have sound. Yeah, we have sound. Okay. So welcome back. So we know roughly when the murder happened, right? We have two witnesses, right? And we actually know basically who it was, right? So, but we'll see. Might not be all, right? So let's get. So the obvious thing I think would be to the northwestern person, right? We don't really care. The witness name maybe right now might not be important, right? Gunshot. So get fit on membership. So to me again, let's look for a membership number on the battle start is 48Z, right? Only gold members. So our table is this. We have memberships, right? And we have what? ID. That is a check-in, might be important. Status, we want the gold, right? So ID, and do we have the actual name? Let's see, get fit now member. Bless you, right? So, all right. So, let's see what it looks like. So select all from get fit member, right? And let's just do limit 5. I don't know what they look like, right? Okay, yeah. So ID is actually what we want. So we know who they are. They actually have their name, but we don't know, of course, again. So it's interesting, right? So the name, maybe they have a fake name. You don't know, right? But of course, we want gold members. So looks like we're getting pretty close. So where ID like, and again, 48Z, I believe, right? Something like this, right? We'll see how many do we get. We have 3 of them, right? And again, well, okay, we're getting close, but we have 2 suspects. Again, even here, right? We have 2 gold suspects, right? So, what will we need to do? We'll need, of course, to figure out some other hints, which one is which, right? Also, just because, again, all suspects are innocent before proven guilty, right? So, let's do, of course, let's do membership statute and membership ID and status, right, equals gold, of course, right? Gold. Yeah, but of course I have to be case sensitive here, right? So we have 2, right? So not ideal, but a step up, right? So let's add it here. So that's the next query, right? And our results, right? So these are actually. Right, so we could get it like this, or we could export the table, right? Or we could just, yeah, I guess we'll have to export it. It would be easier, right? So export, like this. I think it was here, right? No, where was the export? Or was it sharing? No. Copy to flip. Oh, copy to clipboard. Okay, that works. But copy to clipboard, it means it actually is on. No, that's not what I want. No. Where was the export of this? Oh, it's here, right? Export table. Right, open table, open charts, open syntax box, open new. So let's export it to CSV. You can do, of course, JSON as well. Right, okay. Right, so we have these are our 2 suspects, right? Right, and again, so you'll need to figure out which one it is. And so what's our hint? So, oh, right. So we know the car with the plate that included H42W. Right. So it looks like, by the way, last week on January the 9th, actually, right? Yeah. So that might help, maybe, right? We could also do that. But let's do this H42W. Maybe that will help. Hopefully we don't drive the same car, right? So how would we do this? Well, we know the person ID, right? So let's do another query for the cars, right? Right. So driver's license, right? Let's see how many cars. So select all from of course the driver's license. Let's see, what does it have? Driver's license. Ah, yeah. For some strange reason, driver's license includes the car. I guess do they do it in Latvia? CSDD, does this show you? I mean, obviously, when you go to a ECSDD, you see your cars, right? But but the actual license table shouldn't really include the car, right? That's not in real life. There will be more tables in real life, of course, right? But here, to make things easier for you guys, we actually have the plate number here. So yeah, so let's see that. Select all from driver's license, right? Where plate number, like, of course, again, user's friend like, on H24, on what do we have here? It said included, right? Well, so I guess we need to do this wildcards, jokers, back up force, right? So let's see. For me, and let's do limit 50, limit 10, right? Because we don't know how many we'll get, right? Okay, there's an error. What did I do wrong here? Their plate number. Maybe I thought I could do it near here. So what happens here? Let's do this first. Oh, yeah, of course. I'm just I'm using two different query syntaxes, right? So like, yeah, okay, right. So this actually again. So we have three possible candidates, right? So of course, what do we need to know? We need to know what kind of cars they drive, right? So we can see these drivers. Again, we have the age and height, and we see their hair color, right? But the actual driver's license does not show the name, right? So we need to link these actually together, right? So we need to know the IDs, right? We need to have some extra limit. So for the query, right? Which is, of course, in this case, it will be, we need to check the license IDs of these persons, basically, right? For the person. We have the person ID, so we would like to join it and see the license ID, right? And it's interesting, again, to make things easy, here we can see all cars. So let's join it. So let's join person. So we want to see the license ID of this person, right? So, right here, where's the third one, right? So, that's fine, right? ID, right? So, let's make this, I'll call this GF, right? So, I'll call this GF ID, right? Get fit, right? Right, so this should work. Yeah, it works, okay? We want to, what do we want to do? We want to join. Again, remember your syntax, right? SQLite online, SQLite tutorial, select syntax, right? And we want to join, right? This one here, the full syntax, consent, right? Join is first, right? So we want to join some tables, right? From table list, right? Join something. So what is going to be our query? So we have person ID, that's our foreign key. So let's join the person table. Then we'll be able to have full access to both get with now members and also get their actual name. Let's get their name and license ID. All right, again, address too, again, so we can go arrest them, right? So assuming they're home. But so let's do that. Right. So for now, I'll do a star join, right? Right. So join, right? And by the way, on joins, right? There are different type of joins. You guys talk about different type of joins, right? Yes. Yes. So what's
I don't think that we really
yeah.
discussed that much.
Right.
There were left join, right join.
Yeah. Left join, right join. Right. So yeah. So right. Yeah. So inner join, basically we need both sides need to have a match. Basically, need to have something matching. Basically, we need inner join. Basically, right? So left join, right? So notice what's the difference in left join, right? Even if their left side, the table on the left side, right? In this example, right? On left join, only left side is required. Right side, there might not be even a match, basically, on the right side table, right? So apparently some songs on the Chinook table from our last lecture, there's no artist at all, right? So so then nothing happens. That's fine, right? In this particular left join. So if you're fine with that, if that fits your needs, then you would do. Of course, typically we do inner joins, right? We want actual everything, join. And similarly, right join, which is even more rare, right, would be right? There's nothing here, right? There's complete no match, right? Yeah. If you want to find artists who don't have any albums, right, where title is null, right, you get nothing, right? So cross join, right? So right. So basically, right, cross join. We'll see the results, right? So this means everything versus everything, right? Cartesian basically join, right? Cartesian product, right? Thank you, Descartes, right? Right, and we have everything versus everything, right? So very not too often when you want that, right? And I guess that is it. I remember SQLite didn't have right join for a long time. Didn't have right join. I think they have it now, but it's not. It is there's a right join here as well, right? So yeah, okay. So again, usually the default is the inner join, right? Sometimes you have to check, of course, your database setup. Maybe left join is default, but usually it's the inner join. Okay, so we want to join with all this. We want to join with person. Join person, right? On, right? On what? We need a condition, right? So person, I'll call it person P, right? Since I'm lazy, right? P, right? Okay, that's an alias. So GF person ID equals what? P person ID, right? So person ID and ID, right? I think I did correctly. Let's take a look. So what do we expect to see if everything works correctly? We expect to see that we'll have the full information here. Only problem might be that we have some fields which might be overlapping, right? Name and name, right? We'll see what happens. It worked actually, right? So we see there's some column names are actually overlapping, right? So we see that actually it looks like nobody lied. Even the killers don't lie, right? Yeah. So that's good. So what can we do now? We have the license number, so we can keep going, right? We have the license number. We can do another join in the same query, right? We can join with the driver's license. Let's do that, right? So let's do another join. And let's see, join. What's the table? Driver's license. On what? On P. License, I believe. ID, license ID equals, and of course, driver's license, I'll call it D, right? D ID, right? Okay. And again, these two joins, you have like $2 million row tables or 3 million row tables. That might require some extra work, right? If it's not, if your IDs are not indexed, right? So let's take a look. Okay, it worked, and looks like what happened here is that actually we only got one person. That's interesting. Is this actually the one person we wanted? Okay, let's extract this whole thing, right? Copy to clipboard. And what will happen now? Will we actually see this? Let's take a look. Oh, Sparkles. No, I don't want just the car. I wanted actually everything, right? I guess I'll have to export again. And I forget now again what was the export. Oh, here, yeah. All right. On yeah, it's Jeremy Bowers, right? So Brown, so maybe other person that doesn't even own a car, apparently, right? So looks like this Jeremy is our potential killer, right? But of course, things would not be so simple, right? In this mystery, it's just that he might be just a hitman, right? Yeah, could be, right? Let's not draw any conclusions, but we know exactly where they are, right? Again, so of course we can now instead of star, I could do actually specific fields from each of these, right? What I want, right? But this looks like Chevy Spark, kind of bad car, I guess, right? Isn't it electric? No, I don't know, Sparkless, right? So we know the license plate, right? So it fits, right? So this looks like there's the other guy doesn't drive, right? So Jeremy is the only driver, right? Okay. So looks like we have our potential killer, right? Let's take a look. I will add this. No. Right. And maybe I should of course do this GF, right? This should be GF, right? Just in case. So you have to be careful sometimes with these GF. Maybe sometimes the fields you need to specify all fields if you have multiple tables, right? Let's do it again. Yeah, it worked again. Okay. So And we have it, right? Results. All right. Now let me add all of this to the repository, right? So now we know Jeremy Bowers, right? All right. So, and of course we could check all the fields, of course, as well, right? So now our next step is actually probably do an interview, maybe, right? Or see what else. Do we have an interview, right? I don't know, right? I don't even actually, I don't remember what we have to do. Maybe you might have to do this, finish this yourself. I believe we need to check the interview, person ID, right? So now let's see. We know the person's ID is what? ID, I believe this is person ID, right? 673 ID, right? Yeah. So here 673 ID, right? Yeah. Of course we could do this. So let's see, is there any interviews? There must be interview, right? So select from interview, right? Select from interview, where ID, 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 I believe, right? Or person ID. Person ID, yeah, person ID. Right? Equals this, right? Let's take a look. Yes, all right. We got somewhere. Looks like the guy was very easy to, he squealed, so to say, right? He spoke very quickly, and looks like he's not the actual, well, he's a killer, but he's not the end, right? So we can check who actually, what was the result. Let me go here, right? Commit changes, update. We're getting somewhere. Maybe we'll get to the actual solution. We're getting very, very close, right? So that's our, right, and we have our, all right. Let's take a look. All right. So a lot of money. Doesn't know her name. Now she's around 5'5", 5'7". She has red hair and she drives a Tesla Model S. All right. That should be enough, right? And also, she attended SQL Symphony concert 3 times in December 2017, right? So, that should be enough, right? To narrow it down. Yes. So, we can, of course, get all red-haired women who drive Tesla Model S, right? And then, of course, we would narrow it down to who attended the SQL content 3 times in December 2017, right? So, again, if you think about it, of course, this is relatively actually what can be done, actually, assuming all databases are connected, right? It's happening more and more often, right? This actually can happen. So, a lot of money, that's kind of, we don't know if she has a lot of money. Maybe she's just flashing the money, but all right. So we could do the height. What do we have here? What entries do we have here? The height is here, driver's license, right? So we probably what we want to do is we want to link things we need, right? Let's do this. So let's link person and driver's license using license ID, but we don't want to show all the fields, right? Not yet, right? Well, I guess we can, but we want to limit to here gender, right? Gender, car, make, and model, right? Right? And then we'll do height as well, right? You don't know the age. Red hair, hair color. All right. That seems like the reasonable step. It should give us some candidates, right? Assuming the guy is not lying, right? So let's do that. So first we'll do the join, right? Select all from what? Person, right? Join what? Join on, right? I'll do this join on, join, of course, table. We want table. We'll call it person P, right? P, right? join driver's license D, right? Oh, come on, this is not a great ID. On, of course, P license ID, right? Being equal to the ID, right? So again, this has to be very good. Well, let's do limit 10 for now, right? Let's see if it actually works. All right, this works. We get lots of information. Roster, car make, everything, right? So this is how. So this is a key part of this whole lesson, right? So how we joining these tables, we actually have access to all information. And again, we could select other subfields, by the way, here. Okay, so let's do some lists. So we want what? Gender female, where gender equals female, right? Right, and car model, or what is it called? What is it called? Tesla Model S. So car make. It'll tell me, car make. In fact, again, notice I don't have to specify column name because it's unique, right? So the gender, the car make, right? That would be less errors equals Tesla, right? Tesla, right? And the car model, right? Car model equals S, right? Let's see, did we get anything? Maybe we get, let's live dangerously. Maybe we'll have like 500 owners, but probably not. Oh, and we forgot one more thing. The car, let's see how many we have. Nobody. Ah, interesting. Female. How about this one here? Yeah, Model S. All right. Good catch. The model, car model equals Model S, right? You could say, okay, right, this in real life. Okay, so we have 4 potential candidates, right? We have the names. Of course, we could Regina, Miranda, Redcorp, Alyssa, right? So, all right, so we have, of course, we'll do the red hair, right? So, of course, that's not going to really help us, as you can see here, but it'll help a little bit, right? So, and the hair color, of course, is red, right? So now we have 3 potential candidates, right? Right. And now we need to show what their attendance, basically, right? Which one of these attended our the concerts, like on Facebook, those events, basically, right? So we could basically go. We could, of course, use the select queries there. But let's see this, right? On the results, right? Let's export this, right? Results. No, here. Sorry. CSV. Again. Let's export this. Right. And again, I don't remember who is guilty, but we'll find out. I mean, we have, maybe I'll leave this for you. This is the last step, unless the conspiracy goes deeper, right? But already we have some, we're getting very close. And now, of course, we could just filter. Of course, as you could do now, since I'm going to be lazy, that's probably what I'll do is we will look for Facebook events, right? We have Facebook events, right? And how many times Facebook event check-in, right? On date, right? 3 times, basically, right? So we want to do a grouping, right? We want to count group by, let's see, we want to do a group by what? Person ID, but we want to do group by date. This is a little bit tricky, actually, right? No, actually, we want to do this, of course, event date, event name, by the way, too, right? So yeah, let's check. Let's see what's happening there. It's our last table. So select all, select count, right? From Facebook events. So how many there are actually, right? Facebook event. I think a lot, right? 20,000. So not something you want to do, you know, like all days going through one by one, right? So let's see what can we do with Symphony on the date, right? That might be a good start. So here, this is actually what we do is, you know, we will probably create a view for this, actually create a new table out of this, right? That might make things easier, right? So, yeah. So now we have the event name, right? Where event name equals what, the SQL Symphony, right? I'll just do like. I forget what it was, like Symphony, right? Symphony. We'll see. Do we have any limit 10? Let's see if we have anything. Yeah. All right. SQL Symphony concert. Okay, looks like this are all same. So we could of course just copy this exactly. And we want the dates, right? So we want the dates only for November, right? And that should be enough, right? That should get us there, right? 3 times December, sorry, December, right? So, date is, I guess I'll do this. I guess I'll do another no, it's number, right? So this is actually kind of a little bit tricky because it's not a good number, right? So date equals over 2000 equals 2017 12, right? 01, right? And date less or equal 2017 12 31, right? That's correct? Yeah, that is correct. How many do we have? We could count, of course, right? Lots of person ID, because we could check, of course, the person ID. So we could, of course, do this. That's probably I'll do since I want to finish early. We could just we only have 3 candidates, right? We could check the IDs, right? Count, right? And this person, right? We started person, so this ID here, right? We could check the ID, right? You could do this, of course. This is lazy, right? And person ID, right? This will be a really lazy version, right? Let's see. Oh, this person didn't go at all. Okay, so that's easy, right? Unless I made a mistake. Maybe I didn't make a mistake, but let's take a look, right? So this is a person, right? Person, yeah. All right, so we could do this. See what happens. Looks like all or last chance, unless I made a mistake, right? So of course, in this case, this looks like, yep. All right, looks like this is actually our second person we should arrest, right? So Miranda Priestley is the guilty one. Again, we could have, of course, if we want to keep it all pure, we could have, of course, made a grouping, right, of people who attended a group by date. But of course, to do that, we have to extract the 2017-12 as a new column, actually, right? Because we have these dates, right? So to group by person count, yeah, we could do this, and then we could do a group by and count all the persons attending, right, basically, and then we could have a count of persons, right, to this in a only not in instead of checking the 3 possible suspects one by one, we could have used group by the date, group by person ID, and counted how many times they attended. We could have also then created a view for this, which will be a custom table. Right. So that's something to get. So that's something to do. So to do for yourself, do for students, group by persons, and count on order by attendance. Right. So then, of course, we could that would make things easier. Optionally filtering for 3 or more attendance, right? So this person was apparently really big on Symphony, right? And that's their downfall. All right. So, and that completes this exercise. But again, last time could have made, of course. I mean, again, we even go even deeper, right? But yeah, but you can see again from this how the joining actually, right, makes everything possible, basically, right? So that's the main thing. So you need to know 2 things: the schema, right? So and of course then you need how to do joins. So if you're building up some new application like your homework, right? You probably want a couple tables, like maybe 2 or 3 tables, maybe tasks, like you're doing tasks, right? Maybe you can have a separate persons, of course. If you, of course, for example, if you had a you want to add some authentication, login, for example, right? You have a person possibly, right? You could store some salted hash there, possibly, right? Possibly that be one approach, right? If you want, it's not required for this task, right? But yeah, maybe in a separate table. So one thing is again with these normal forms, right? It really depends on your organization. Some are very strict. You have to, there's like I think 5 or 6 levels normal forms. Usually third level is enough. Third normal form is enough, right? So some duplication might still be possible, right? But again, remember that how all the foreign keys link the tables together. So that's the main thing about to remember from SQL. And again, if you for some reason really hate SQL syntax, there are plenty of libraries. Every language has libraries, right? Which make this thing you can work in an object-oriented way, right? All the ORM libraries. Maybe some of you are already using some of them. What are you using for libraries? For SQL, yeah, in Go.
I don't remember exactly the libraries.
Yeah, yeah. But basically, there's many, right? Yeah. And the good ones at least let you see the SQL, let you write your own SQL, or at least see the query, basically, right? But because what happens is these libraries, the problem is sometimes it'll give you really bad queries. It's just like, with LLM, depending on LLM for code, right? Sometimes it'll give you suboptimal code. So these ORM tools will give you suboptimal queries, right? So that's one thing, right? And that's how applications get slow, right? People need to, write something. They let the ORM library create the queries for you, basically, and then some of them are really bad. They don't have indexing, right? The common thing, but to improve is indexing, meaning you're doing some join. You can index both columns, which you are doing join, meaning indexing means you basically create a cache, basically, right? You create a, so then the joins will happen quicker, basically, next time, right? So, okay. So SQL is going to be around, basically, it looks like forever, right? So until the asteroid hits us, basically, right? So, all right. So thank you, everyone. I'll see you on Monday, and I'll commit this here.